Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go over how to switch from a standard saxophone embouchure to a lip-out embouchure. First things first, you need to use a lower tip opening mouthpiece, and almost always in conjunction with a thinner reed. So if you're playing threes, go to 2.5s. I would suggest you go down in tip opening a number and a half. So if you're playing on an 8, go down to a 6 star or even a 6. It is important that you do this because the amount of pressure that you have to apply just to overcome the natural resistance of that setup just to play is extraordinarily high when you're using the standard saxophone embouchure. By using a lip out embouchure, we want to eliminate all of that extra torque that we are applying just to the mouthpiece. So we can save all of that energy getting air to move through the horn, or more accurately, getting the reed to convert that motion into sound without applying so much pressure on the mouthpiece and the reed that we actually wind up constricting the sound. In the automotive industry, this is called cannibalism. If you have a supercharger, the supercharger itself eats up a certain amount of horsepower just to make the car faster. That's what we're doing here. We are cannibalizing the amount of energy that we're putting into the system, and this is not very efficient. So you need first and foremost to go down in tip opening, anywhere from 5 star, maybe 6 star at the most. I generally play 6 star to 7, maybe a 7 star if it's a really, really aggressively baffled mouthpiece. Which brings me to another point. A really aggressively baffled mouthpiece is going to give the illusion of having a smaller tip opening, so you'll have to adjust accordingly. Okay. At this time, I want you to get yourself a straw, and I want you to take the mouthpiece and the neck together, and I want you to perform this exercise. Just take the straw and approach playing it as you would a saxophone with the standard embouchure. That's the bottom lip over the bottom teeth and the top teeth on the top of the straw. Blow as you would a saxophone. Now take the straw and use a lip out embouchure. I just want you to put the straw in your mouth, top teeth still on the top, blow through the straw without the bottom lip covering the bottom teeth. Apply that same concept to the mouthpiece and the neck. Remember, don't make a sound yet. Remember, we want to use a lower tip opening mouthpiece with softer reeds. Don't try to compensate with a stiffer reed because you're using a lower tip opening mouthpiece. Now, when you play the standard embouchure, lip over the bottom teeth, this gives you a lot of control. This is why it's very easy to teach beginner saxophonists this embouchure, because they start with a lot of control. They often use way too much embouchure pressure, and for beginners, when they're learning, they wind up having a sore lip. So when we use a lip out embouchure, what we're doing is rolling the lip out more. It's not completely out. You'll notice that there's a lot of intonation flexibility when you're starting to use this embouchure. Okay, this is one of the things that we want to focus on when we are switching to a lip out embouchure. Okay, let's put the mouthpiece and the neck on the saxophone. Let's do this with an open C sharp. Remember, top teeth on the top, lower lip out. You may be confused what to do with your tongue. Moving your tongue around, this is called voicing. We want to keep our tongue in a consistent position to keep the pitch consistent. You can also use a tuner at this time to see where in tune is, because your tongue placement is going to be very important. So when we use a lip out embouchure, what we're doing is rolling the lip out more. It's not completely out. So now we want to find a happy medium between having the lip out completely to having it completely over the teeth. Now, when anyone says that they play with a lip out embouchure, what they're really saying is their lip is mostly not over the teeth. All right, myself included. There are some people that play completely lip out. That's a different thing altogether. Having the lip over the teeth will give you amount of control with the sacrifice of expending more energy. Let's try a middle D. Okay, so let's differentiate between two concepts, which is having the lower lip rolled over the teeth versus having the teeth pushed under the lips. Even when you use a lip out embouchure, my teeth are going to be below my lip. All right? I can't. That's going to hurt. In order to simulate the effect of having the standard embouchure, I just apply more pressure with the lip out. My hand is my lip, and this is my teeth. This is your standard embouchure like this. With the lip out, it's more like this. So when I apply pressure, I'm actually applying the bottom teeth at an angle instead of straight up and down. So if I want to simulate the sound of a standard embouchure, I go more aggressively at that angle into the heart of the reed, like this. Okay, you want to go very slowly with this, and it's going to take you about 2 months to develop the embouchure to do this, where you have control over your intonation and you start to feel very comfortable. What's going to slow you down is if you keep going back and forth between the standard embouchure and the lip out embouchure. You need to just focus on getting that lip outward and using less pressure. You will find that instinctively you're going to start moving your tongue in the proper position to get your voicing correct. I have a lot of videos on multiphonics. These are absolutely supreme at getting you to just dial everything in. Using a lower tip opening mouthpiece with softer reeds is going to force you out of using the standard embouchure because you just won't be able to do it. You're going to apply so much pressure, you're going to clip the sound off. Okay? I have my Alto and Tenor Altissimo books available as a digital purchase. If you like this kind of stuff, you can buy me a piece of cake. I will have a link in the description for both of them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. That's all I got for you. See ya.